Business into 217, time we check in with Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, about things happening in and around the Springfield business community. Greatly appreciate your time, Michelle, and let's get right on into it. Am I going to be able to find a burrito as big as my head anymore? Good morning.
Well, not unless you want a road trip to Champaign or possibly Normal. You will no longer be able to drive down MacArthur and patronize La Bamba with the burritos as big as your head. And they've been around a long time. I didn't realize that, but they actually started in 1987, and they've owned that location on MacArthur since 2012.
Oh, wow.
So over a decade at this point. But I talked to owner Ramiro Aguas yesterday, and he said it's not a widespread issue, it sounds like. He said they were having some staffing problems in Springfield, both with management and the employees, so they made the decision to close the Springfield location. They still own the real estate, so they have a tenant lined up, and he said it's his understanding it's going to be an African restaurant, going to be called Traveler's Restaurant. I haven't been able to make contact with the new tenant yet, so more details will be forthcoming. But Ramiro said he wouldn't necessarily rule out opening up in Springfield again down the road, but for the time being, they've decided to rent out that space. They actually have 7 other locations. They're based out of Champaign, but even in Indiana, Wisconsin, Kentucky, it's a family-owned business, but they've got a lot of family, so they're kind of spread out there.
Right on. Well, I appreciate the update on that, and maybe I'll make it over to a little way down the road to see if I can find that burrito as big as my head sometime. But another update here, we've got Hayes Bakery and Coffee Shop. They have one location that's been just, I tell you, busy as ever. I drive by there from time to time, and they've got cars lined up to get some of their delicious goods, but now they're looking for a second location.
Yes, they have a second one in the works already. They opened that one there between Madison and Jefferson in October, and they actually hoping to have a second location open by their 1-year anniversary. They have signed a lease for a space in the Wabash Crossing Mall, which is out there. It's that new strip center right in front of the AMC Showplace 12 Theater. Better with Bubbly Boutique is already in there, and Galaxy Nail Bar just opened. And Hayes Bakery and Coffee is taking the end cap space because, of course, they're going to have a drive-through, so they will be right on the end of that retail center and getting ready to begin their build-out shortly. And I had a chance to talk with owner Chris Benad, who co-owns it with his wife Amy, and he said it'll basically be the same as their existing location in terms of the menu, the baked goods, all that, just slightly shorter operating hours. They are open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. at their current location because, of course, they're close to not only downtown but the Med District, so he said they pick up the shift changes from the hospitals. That won't be the case on the west side, so he says they're looking at, maybe 6 to 6 for the west side location, but still 7 days a week. So that's a lot of coverage.
Well, a couple of more items here before we wrap things up and tell people how they can get a copy of the Springfield Business Journal. Talking with Michelle Ownbey, the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal. We've got a jewelry and apparel shop that's set to close.
Yes, for Sona, which is over there in White Oaks Plaza, close to the Kohl's and the Harvest Market, is closing as of April 29th. That is a national company. They operate under parent company Cato Corporation, which has 3 different brands, Versona, Cato, and It's Fashion. They operate it all the way across the United States. But, I was thinking earlier this morning when I was listening to your discussion about the sports park last night, there was supposed to be an 80-unit outlet mall constructed. That was in the works 10 or 12 years back, and never materialized, and probably a good thing.
It was right next to Xanadu as well, which never materialized.
Yeah, not a good season for retail right now. We're seeing a lot of these national retailers starting to announce, post-COVID that they are closing up shop. So
that's pretty incredible. Well, you guys definitely are keeping your eyes on that, and we appreciate your updates. But it's not just restaurants or retail you guys keep an eye on. It's also others within the Springfield business community and the moves they're making. And in particular, we've seen a lot of activity over there at the former Benedictine University. The Dream Center is one of those institutions now at that complex, and they just got a big financial boost.
Yes, they sure did. $500,000 gift from Frank and Linda Valla, and the Dream Center is a very cool concept. Of course, Destiny Church is out there on the former Benedictine campus, and Reverend Eric Hansen, who heads up Destiny Church, has also started, it's a nonprofit called the Dream Center, not connected to the church, but some of the leadership overlaps. Also operating there on the campus in the former Dawson Hall, they provide free training in various trades, so anything from electrical, plumbing, carpentry to barbering, all kinds of different things. They're targeting students from low-income families. The classes are provided free of charge, and the gift from the Vallas is going to help them build out and expand. They're actually planning to even offer some free sports camps for grade school age kids this summer. So a lot of good, as you said, a lot of good activity happening up there on the north end at the former Benedictine.
Well, and I imagine that there's going to be even more big things happening out there. So looking forward to seeing what all you guys are able to report out each and every week here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. And tell us how we can get a copy of the Springfield Business Journal.
Well, if you get on our website at springfieldbusinessjournal.com, you can sign up for BizBites. That's the weekly newsletter, and it's free of charge. And, of course, you can also sign up to get the print edition delivered directly to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, greatly appreciate your time, and we'll talk again next week.
All right. Thanks, Greg.